Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about the elbow positioning in the serve. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the differences between having a more neutral elbow positioning, which means that your elbow stays more in line with your body like this, compared to a more coiled elbow positioning, meaning that you are rotating your shoulders round and the elbow is on the outside of your body, like so. And the positioning of your elbow on the serve, specifically in the trophy position, is really important because it affects many different aspects of your serve. Specifically, it affects the amount of torso rotation you're getting on your serve. It also affects your racket drop, and it also can affect the power and speed of your serve as well as the accuracy of your serve. And before we talk about the differences between having a neutral versus a more coiled elbow, I'm going to make you aware of an elbow position that you definitely don't want to have. And that is having your elbow on the hitting side of your body when you're in the trophy position. So having your elbow like this means that your torso and your shoulders aren't rotated at all. So you're not storing much, if any, energy in your upper body on the serve, and from here you're going to find it very hard to drop the racket and get a sufficient racket drop, which means that your serve will be lacking power and lacking consistency. So if you are finding your elbow is on the hitting side of your body in the trophy position, it could be because you're lining your feet up together like so, and this causes your body to be too open as you hit. And if your body and torso is too open as you hit, you're generally going to have that hitting arm on that outside of your body, like so. A really simple way to fix this positioning of your elbow from having it out here to having it in a more neutral or even a coiled position is to ensure that your back foot is behind your front foot in the stance. So if you do this, you're naturally starting your serve in a more coiled position. You can see here my front shoulder is pointing to that net post and I'm already coiled. So as I take my racket back, I'm going to come into this position here with my elbow, which as you can see is a more coiled position, like so. Okay, so now we've spoken about the elbow position that you should be avoiding. Let's move on to the two different types of elbow positioning that you could use and the pros and cons of each of them. So first of all, let's discuss the more coiled elbow positioning. And you would see this serving style from a lot of ATP players mostly, and some of the greatest servers of all time like Sampras, Federer and Boris Becker use this more coiled serve positioning, coiled elbow positioning. So what are the benefits of having a more coiled elbow positioning? So first of all, it increases the range of motion of your elbow, so you're able to get into a really great racket drop and uncoiling phase of your serve to hit a really powerful serve. Second of all, you're storing loads and loads of energy and power in this position because you're getting so much coil in your upper body and your torso to then be released rapidly into the ball. But some key downsides of this coiled elbow positioning, especially for recreational players, is that it's quite hard to unwind and uncoil out of. So an issue you could run into if your fundamentals aren't completely dialed in is that as you coil, you're going to take too long to drop the racket in this efficient racket drop phase, and you're going to end up contacting the ball a little bit too low. So if your fundamentals of your racket drop aren't correct, so for example, if you come here and you open up your strings, or you don't get deep enough in the racket drop, or you have a shallow racket drop, you might come and hit the ball with a bent arm and have that contact point a bit low because you're not able to unwind properly from that coiled positioning. The last con of this type of serve is that this type of serve can decrease accuracy and control, especially on kick serves and slice serves if you are a recreational player as well, because there are quite a lot of things that can go wrong. But for high level players, this coiled position is definitely the best option. Okay guys, so now let's move on to the neutral elbow positioning. And so overall this means that you're getting less coil, less shoulder and less torso rotation than when you are in this coiled elbow positioning. So instead of looking like this, your elbow is in line with your body in the trophy position. The pros of this is that for recreational players, it's easier to initiate rotation and uncoiling if your elbow is in more of a neutral position. So if you're less coiled, there's less things to think about, and there's more time for you to get into a nice racket drop and uncoil into the serve. And instead you might find yourself able to control your racket path a little bit more. So you're going to be able to find that kick serve, the slice serve and the flat serve maybe a little bit easier with this neutral elbow position. And also with this neutral elbow position, you're potentially going to find yourself hitting with more accuracy and control because there is less things that can go wrong, and overall it's just a more simple take back, it's a more simple service motion. So these are all positives. The negatives of this style are obviously that you're going to have less torque, less stored power in this type of positioning. So you might find that your serve is less powerful when you use the neutral elbow compared to when you use the coiled elbow. But again, there are trades-off for either style. But overall, I really recommend you guys to go out and practice both different styles and see how they feel for you. You might find that in the neutral position, you're able to control the ball more and still find a lot of power on your serve. But on the other hand, some of you might find that the coiled position is really a great option for you, and you're able to gain a lot of power and rhythm and not find your serve collapsing. And guys, if you need more help with your serve, then down in the description box below I have some free guides for you on the serve, and I also have my full serve program for you. So go and check those out in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.